Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. If we haven't met yet, my name is Courtney Hartman. I am one of the group health specialists in the Health Plan Options Department at URL Insurance Group. Please do not hesitate to reach out to me or anyone on my team for assistance in the under 65 individual or group market. Some quick things: everyone should be muted to avoid any background noise during the presentation. So if you do have any questions, please use the chat feature to the right of your screen. Handouts are also on the left or right hand side of your screen as well under the handouts tab. Now that everyone's familiar with who I am excited to welcome Mike Story, National Sales Training Director with Physicians Mutual. A little background on Mike: a true industry icon with 31 years of exceptional leadership and performance. Mike is a 16-time sales incentive qualifier, a 15-time Top of the Crown Club member, 9-time Manager of the Year, multi-time award winner across LTC, MedSup, and recruiting categories. Even more impressive, Mike has mentored dozens of top-performing agents and leaders, consistently building one of the most successful teams in the field. Please join me in welcoming Mike. And Mike, take it over.
Well, thank you. That was very nice of you to do that. I greatly appreciate it. Well, thank you, URL Group, for inviting me today. As we go through this, if you guys got any questions, put them in the chat. I know Robin will be doing that. I didn't know, Courtney, did she upload it, or do I need to then show my screen? I can hit share.
Yep, you can share your screen and also the handouts on the side. If you want to share them, you can share them to the screen as well, whatever you prefer.
Launch a white, black, says opening. Okay. So we'll do that. I guess, can everybody see the whiteboard? How about if I do this?
Let me know if you can see the whiteboard.
Can you see this? I have a little Physicians Mutual Advantages, competitive advantages up. Cannot. Okay. Mm-hmm. Let me go back to that.
I think you might have to do one or the other.
Okay. So what I see on my screen, it says slide 1, and then it's just blank and white.
Yep, and that's the drawing.
Okay. How do I show? I guess I'm trying to find out. Sorry about this. I'm trying to find out how do I show something? I have all of everything on my desktop. Or if you guys are the PowerPoint that I sent. Let's see here. Presenters. Okay. It says open new whiteboard. PDF. Okay, let me see. Oh boy. Show slide navigator. No, that's not it. Presenter view. Okay, at the bottom I see, okay, if I highlight it, it says share content. I click on it. It says drag or drop files from here, a blank whiteboard, or browse files. Well, let's see if I click on browse files. Desktop. Let's see. So I go to my desktop. Okay, let's see what I got here on the desktop. And then I can go to...
If you want to share your screen, at the top beside slides, there's a plus sign and it says share screen. Oh, there you go. It's up.
Oh, it's up. Okay. Yeah. So can everybody see this?
Everybody is muted, but they can see it if we can see it.
Okay. I just want to make sure. So at Physicians Mutual, we have 4 products, Medicare supplement products that we offer all the brokers. And in most states, I'm going to say this a lot today. I'm going to say in most states because there are some state variations, and to go through all state variations would be here all day, and I know we got a half hour. But these are the 4 different med sups we sell: the high deductible G, the innovative G, and this innovative is the one that has the patent on it. We do the regular G and we do the Plan F. Okay. So this Innovative G is a hybrid of the high deductible and the regular G. It's a hybrid of the two. Okay. So let me go through real quick the high deductible G. I want to do a quick education because everybody seems to get confused when it comes to the high deductible G. With the high deductible G, the only two deductibles that you have are 1676 and 257. So whether you're in the hospital 1 day, 10 days, 60 days, you will pay 1676. That's a true deductible. You pay that first. And then any type of outpatient services, that's the Part B deductible of 257. And then you will pay 20% of the Medicare approved amount on any outpatient services. So Medicare pays 80, you pay 20, and you pay that 20% coinsurance up to a max out of pocket. This is the key right here. Max out of pocket, okay, of $28.70. Now, I will say this. I'm going to say the word most again. $28.70 is less than most Medicare Advantage out-of-pocket maximums. Most, okay? Now, if you end up in the hospital and hit the 1676, that goes towards the max out-of-pocket. This is out of control. Okay, let me undo this a little bit, okay? So then the 1676 goes towards the max out-of-pocket. The 257 goes towards the max out-of-pocket, and so does the 2870 coinsurance. All those numbers go towards. So if you end up in the hospital for 5 days, you pay $1676. You've now paid $1,676 of that $2870. So now you only got about $1,100 or $1,200 left. Naturally, you're going to go to your doctor to visit him after you get out of the hospital. So that $257 will come off. Now you're down to about $900 max out of pocket. And then you have 20% coinsurance for the rest of the year. Or unless down the road, 6 months down the road or something, you hit the Part A deductible again, then you will only pay what you have left in your max out of pocket. So you would never pay the Part A deductible twice. It's impossible because that's over $3,300 and your max out of pocket is $28.70. So you will only pay a max out of pocket of $28.70. So if there's any questions about that, put that in the chat. I'll be more than glad to explain that to you. So as I said, the Innovative, it's a patented product. And what we did at Physicians Mutual, we patented this Innovative rider. We patented the Innovative rider and added it to a regular Plan G. Okay, is what we did. And so this Innovative rider is basically a high deductible for the first 3 calendar years. For the first 3 calendar years. So, for example, if you got somebody that you're going to write an October 1 effective date on, okay, what that means is this. October, November, and December of this year, your customer would have the high deductible G, okay? This is their benefits. This is what they're subject to. And then next year, January through December of 26, that customer would have the high deductible plan again. Okay. Now remember, CMS will change these numbers each and every year. They change the 1676, the 257, and the 2870. And they only go up about the same as what Social Security does. They don't skyrocket it. I always know that like the Part B deductible in 1990 was $75. Okay. The Part A deductible in 1990 was like $570. So you can see that it doesn't go up a lot. And like in 2002, the max out of pocket was like $1,300. So it's not skyrocketing. So don't worry about that. And then also too, if you sell Medicare Advantage plans, you understand about max out of pockets. Okay. But this one's only $28.70. and you have no network restrictions. You can go to any doctor, any hospital across the country. There's no prior authorizations. There's none of that stuff that you have to deal with. Okay. And then in the third year, January through December of 27, you have the high deductible one last year, because starting on January 1st of 2028, the high deductible goes away, and now your customers are automatically transitioned to a regular Plan G the rest of their life by Physicians Mutual. The customer doesn't do anything. You don't do anything. We send them a letter in November and saying, you no longer have to hit your max out of pocket with the high deductible G. You will now be transitioned to a regular G for the rest of your life. And the only thing you're subject to is the Part B deductible of $257 or whatever it is the rest of your life. And so in exchange for taking on this high deductible plan for the first 3 calendar years, we're going to give you a regular Plan G the rest of your customer's life for 25 to 35% less than the rest of the competition out there. Okay. So I'm going to undo this again as we go through here. And then I'm going to do another little chart for you. Okay. So let's go back to the 3 calendar years. Now, remember, in this scenario, this first year can be a partial year depending upon when your effective date. Let's say you have a December 1st effective date. Okay. So somebody has a December 1st. Well, then they're only going to have the high deductible this 1 month of 2025. That's it. Okay. And then the second year is a full year, and the third year is a full year. So they're only going to have the high deductible plan for 2 years and 1 month. And then it transitions to a regular G the rest of their life. Okay. So any questions about this? So what we do at Physicians Mutual, we patented this innovative rider that basically says that with the Innovative G, it is a temporary high deductible for up to 3 calendar years, and that first year can be a partial year, in exchange for a permanent lifetime of savings on a G plan the rest of their life. Okay. So you might think, oh gosh, I like this, Mike, but I'm a little nervous. Well, I would say this: don't be nervous, because this is only a $28.70 max out of pocket. For example, what I did the other day for a group, I showed them how much, anybody take a guess, how much an MRI of your brain stem with and without contrast, how much would that MRI cost under a Medicare Advantage plan versus original Medicare? Okay, under original Medicare. So you'd have to go to the plan booklet for the MA plan, but I was just in Chicago, and that was $200. Under original Medicare, the 20% of the Medicare approved amount is only $61. Okay. $61. That was it. So I always tell people this: if you're going to worry about hitting the max out of pocket on this, you will have more out of pocket if you have a Medicare Advantage plan than you will with original Medicare, and it's 20% of the Medicare approved amount. Okay. I do this all the time, and that's what happens to people. Robin, is there any questions that I could answer for anybody? Since everything, this patented product is new to everyone.
Yep. No questions so far.
Okay. And then just so that all of you know, during this first 3 calendar years, at any time during the 3 calendar years, you can remove this innovative rider. Your customer can write a handwritten letter to the company, say, I'd like to remove my rider, and I want to go to the G plan before January 1st of 2028. You can do that. But what happens is then you do not get the lifetime of savings. You don't get that as you would if you just waited till January 1st of 2028. Okay. So that's what we have done. That's what's catching the industry by storm right now. We have a lot of brokers nationwide. They're loving this plan because what are we all hearing? We're all hearing what's happening to Plan G. There's 20 to 45 to 50% rate increases happening. G right now is under a lot of, and it's not an attack, but the loss ratios are through the roof with all carriers. There's nobody exempt on what's going on out there. So we're seeing that. You're seeing Plan G rate increases really going up. You're seeing rates go up. You've seen carriers, 4 or 5 of them now have dropped out, do not sell Plan G anymore, or don't even sell supplements anymore. So if you're really, really interested in providing your customer the lowest Plan G for their lifetime, then it's going to be this innovative, okay? It's the lowest cost Plan G for your life as long as you go through those 3 calendar years or less. And I'll throw this out here. Let's say somebody would have bought this back in January at the beginning of this year, then they would have 3 full years of the high deductible G. But other than January, any other effective date month is only a partial year. It is not a full year. Go ahead.
Mike, real quick, do we have the Medicare allowed amounts flyer in the handouts? Is that one of them that was in there?
Well, I don't know what's happening with. I don't see the slides or anything anywhere.
Oh, okay. You can email. I'll put mine and Mike's email address in the chat. We can email it to you. How to get into the procedure lookup tool. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So also too, there's a couple things, other advantages. We have the Silver and Fit gym membership on all of these plans. So if your customers love the gym membership, that would be great. Silver and Fit is great throughout the country, especially on the East Coast. It's really, really, really good for that. So they can get a gym membership paid for. They could get each calendar year, they get to pick something from a catalog. They could get a Fitbit for free. They can get a yoga mat, weights, bands, if they're like goggles and flippers, if they swim. And each calendar year, our customers can pick something from the Silver and Fit catalog and get that. So that's good. Also, too, at Physicians Mutual, we have a couple different things. Ages 65, 66, 67, and 68. Okay. We have what we call same rate age banding. So no matter what age your customer is, when you bring them to Physicians Mutual's MedSup, we are going to give them age 65 rates. Okay. So if you have a 68-year-old out there and they are not happy with their rate increases they've been getting or whatever the reason is, you bring them to Physicians Mutual and we will turn back the clock and give them age 65 rates. So you can just imagine in this age group, we are super, super competitive. If you're 67 years old and you're selling somebody a Physicians Mutual plan, make sure you give them age 65 rates. And then the beautiful thing about this is anybody between 65 and a half and 60 through 68, we will give them limited underwriting. So they will only have to go through 4 questions for limited underwriting. We do not start full underwriting with Physicians Mutual starts at 69. Okay. So take advantage of this. This is something that no other carriers are allowing. So take up Physicians Mutual and have them help you out here and keep your customers happy. Okay. Any questions on that? Okay. Also, too, with Physicians Mutual, we have what we call a 2-year selection guarantee. Okay. 2-year selection guarantee. What that means is this for your customers. No matter what one of these plans they buy initially, let's say somebody's 73 years old. So they are eligible to buy any of these 4 plans. Okay. Because remember, you got to be a certain age or you had to be Medicare eligible for before January 1st of 2020 to buy Plan F. So let's say you had a 73-year-old. And what happens is this. No matter what plan they buy initially, they have 2 years to change to another plan that we sell with no questions asked, no underwriting, no nothing. So if somebody buys the Plan G, and after about 1.5 years, they're like, this is ridiculous. I don't want to pay this premium. They can switch to an F if they want to. They can switch to an innovative G if they want to. They can go down to a high deductible G. No questions asked, no underwriting, no nothing. They just get to do it. They just get it. So what we do is, it's basically just like a 2-year free look. Because why? 72% of all seniors today, their number one fear when they go on to Medicare is making the wrong decision. So we're going to give them 2 years to think about that decision that they made. 2 years to think about it. I don't know of anybody else in the industry that's doing that. Also, too, we do a 10% household discount. Okay. 10% household discount. How do you get that? There's 2 ways that you can get that household discount. Number 1, be married. We do not care how old your spouse is. Your spouse can be 30 or 40 years younger. Doesn't matter. If you're married, we will give you a 10% discount off of the smoker rate. Okay, 10% off the smoker rate. Or if you're not married, there's another way to get it. And that is if you live with somebody that's 60 years old or older at the same residence. Okay. Now, this doesn't include nursing homes or anything like that or group homes. But if you live with mom, dad, aunt or uncle, brother, sister, a friend, somebody renting a room from you, things like that, we will give it to you. So there's 10 ways that you can get our household discount. We are not a multi-insured company. We don't make the husband and the wife both have a policy with us. There might be one state that does make us do that. But other than that, we don't do that. Okay. Robin, can you think of anything else as far as the different things that we offer that most others don't?
Yeah, nope. I think you had the 2-year selection guarantee, the discount, the silver and fit baked into the premium. And like you said, nobody else can sell this. Nobody else. You wouldn't believe this states that it's not in yet, how much traffic I get in my ear about people wanting to get this innovative in their state. So this is a phenomenal plan. I'm really glad that we patented it because I think we were ahead of our time in doing this because it's pure genius to have that out of pocket fall off automatically after a few years and then wait till Mike shows you the savings. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem. How am I going to do that?
you can't pull up your slides at all?
I don't know. That's my issue here. I'm not seeing that where I can.
If you stop, you can't stop sharing. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not on the same slide deck. Okay.
No. Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I could do for you is this. I can draw it too. It's really not that big a deal.
All right.
Okay. So what happens is
there's a plus sign beside the slides up at the top left. If you hover over the plus sign, it says share screen, and you can share your screen with this slides on it.
I don't see a plus sign. I see drawing brush color drawing full, and
Turn the drawing off.
the drawing.
Turn your drawing off.
Okay. Turn the drawing.
They're up at the top left. Presenter view, camera, slides, plus sign. Scroll, and then you can, if you hover over the plus sign, it says share screen.
Yeah, I don't. I'm sorry. I don't. It says presenter view, and that's it. That's the only thing that's there. So, okay. Let me go back to the drawing here. I can draw it here on this one. Let me go to full size. So what happens is this: when you buy the innovative plan, okay, when you do that, you will get a lifetime of savings. So let's say that you had someone that, say they're age 65 and they bought this plan. And so what happens is, let's say that rate was 100. And then somebody that was buying a regular plan G was 135. And you gave each of these a 10% rate increase. So this would be like 110. Then this would be like 121. And then this would probably be like 148, 160, I don't know, 165 or something like that. And then, that's after the 3 years. So after this 3-year period, this is a regular G and this is the innovative, right? So then what happens is, at age 68, then the innovative rider goes away. So then both customers would have a plan G. So after starting at age 68, they both have identical plans, okay? Identical plan G. And then what I can tell you is, like, at age 72, the rate for the person that took on the innovative, that took on the max out of pocket in the first 3 calendar years, would be about 194. The person that bought plan G right out of the gate would be about 260, 268. And then if you went to age 80, this would be 417, because I know what my slides look like, I guess. And then over here, this one would be 564. So what'll happen is this: a customer would save over $15,000 in premiums alone. They would save over $15,000 in premiums in exchange for taking on this max out of pocket the first 3 calendar years. So I do have this drawing, and maybe you do have my slides. You will see in there that I compare somebody that buys the innovative to the regular G and what those premium savings look like the rest of somebody's life. And this is no joke, folks. A customer would save over $15,000 if they buy the innovative and take on that max out of pocket again, in exchange for $15,000 permanent lifetime of savings. It is huge, because here's what I don't understand, what I see happening in the industry. And unfortunately, I can say that because I've been doing this 37 years. Why is it that we worry about the first year rate under plan G? I see it all the time. I was just in Chicago. Oh, Mike, I was doing this carrier, and now they're going out of business. They're not selling it anymore. I'm going to go to the next lowest plan G. Here's what I will tell all of you. The lowest price plan G today, I promise you, will be one of the highest ones in 3 to 4 years. 5 guaranteed. It is never the lowest cost plan G the rest of somebody's life. And that's where what we're seeing today, because of the low ball introductory rate game. Okay. And all it does is it hurts you and it hurts your customers, because then they're calling 3, 4, 5 years later and saying, I can't afford this. Can you give me something else? And then next thing you know, you have to go try and find something else. And then if they're uninsurable, then you have to tell your customer, guess what? I can't move you. Can't find you any other supplement. So this is the lowest cost plan G for the customer's life. Why don't we look at finding the lowest cost plan G for their rest of their life? Why are we just worried about the first year? Because as I told that group, and I'll tell your group, how many of your customers die at 65? The people that die at 65 are the only people that are getting any type of advantage when you show them and when you sell them the lowest possible Plan G. Though the people that die at, say, at age 65 in their first year on Medicare are the only people reaping the reward of somebody selling them the lowest cost Plan G. Those are the only people. How about the lowest for the rest of their life? And that's where Physicians Mutual came into it. This innovative plans, people are going to know, what, Mike, when did this come out? This came out in 2008. 2008. And here's what I could tell all of you. In the first year, in the second or the third, and then all 3 years. And here's what I'm going to do for you. In the first year, do you realize since 2008, all of the people that have bought our innovative, only 4% of all people ever hit the max out of pocket. 4%. That means 96% of the people never, ever hit the max out of pocket in this first calendar year. In the second year, which is a full year, and the third year, which is a full year, do you know that only 10% will hit the max out of pocket? What that means to all of you is this. That means that 90% of all people that have bought this since 08 never, ever hit the max out of pocket in the second or the third year. And then Physicians Mutual says, okay, let's look at all 3 years combined. What percentage of the people since 2008 bought, or hit, excuse me, since 2008 hit the max out of pocket? Do you know that only 20% of all of our customers who have bought this plan since 2008 ever hit the max out of pocket? 80% of them never, ever hit the max out of pocket in any of those 3 years. So if you're worried about somebody that's doing that or going to do that, well, then I would say if you use the other side of Medicare, which is the MA side, they will have more than $28.70 out of their pocket. Now, you're right. They don't have any premium. Usually it's zero premium for those plans. Yes, the innovative in most areas are 100, 110. In some areas are 95 is the premium on that. And then I would ask all of you this question. If you had a chance to buy Medicare today, how many of you, if I put some rates up here, I'll show you this real quick. How many of you would buy the innovative would buy the high deductible if I told you it was $45 to $50? How many would do that? Now, I bet you some people are raising their hands, okay? Especially, here's why I say that. Because 80% of all people on group insurance today have a high deductible health plan at work. So those deductibles are either $3, $4, $5, $6, $8, $10,000 deductibles. You only have $1,676 and $257, and then a max out of pocket. Those people that have those high deductible plans, if they have a $5,000 deductible, then they usually have maybe another $5,000 of co-insurance. So they have $10,000 max out of pocket. And you're paying $1,500 a month for that stuff. Okay. Here you're paying $45 to $50 for only $28.70 max out of pocket. But then what if you had a Plan G and Plan Gs were about $140? Would you buy that? And a lot of people do buy that, which sometimes I never have understood. Somebody that's healthy, somebody that maybe has HSA dollars from when they worked. Why are they buying Plan G? Why? They could use, if they have HSA dollars, they could use that other places. But how many of you would buy G? And then I would say, if this is like, say, $175, how many of you would buy Plan F? Well, then what happens? I come in here and say, how many of you would buy Innovative G at about $100 to $110? And remember, this is going to go up just like these rates. And if I gave each of these a 10% rate increase each year, because they all usually get the same rate increase. But the beautiful thing is, after the 3 calendar years, you keep going up right here. Your rates do not jump up to here once it becomes the regular G the rest of your life. The rates do not jump. You stay in this rate structure here, and it just keeps going up and up. And that's why I said that, you know, if you are age 80, if you have the innovative, your rate would be 417. If you started out in the G, it would be 564. So that's $147 a month difference. And the only thing you did was take on this max out of pocket in the first 3 calendar years. So there's a big value to this. Brokers are now seeing it across the country, big time when it comes to value and keeping the customers' premiums low for the rest of their lives. Any questions about that? And just real quick, because I know our time's up almost, is this. With our dental plan, I want to make sure we cover the dental. I can do it right here. It's not a problem. Our dental plan has no caps. It has no caps, folks. It's one of the, you know, Investopedia will rate it one of the highest dental plans in the marketplace today. It has no caps and it has no deductibles. No caps and no deductibles. We pay 70% on major services versus the competition is only paying 50% for your customers. Okay. So think about this. Are you selling a plan today that has no caps, no deductibles, and pays 70%? I'm going to answer that for you. And the answer is no. Okay. Unlimited benefits, no caps, no deductible, pays 70%. We use the Emeritus PPO network. Okay. The Emeritus PPO network. There are over 660,000 dentists in the network. That is one of the largest networks out there. We also pay over 400 plus procedures. Okay. You're probably selling some plans that only cover 300 plus. Physicians Mutual's 400 plus. It's a standalone dental plan. Okay. It's a standalone plan for people anywhere from 18 and above. So whether you're 18, 25, 45, 75, 105, you can sell them a standalone dental plan. It goes well with MA plans. It goes well with ACA plans. It goes well with Medicare supplement plans. It is an outstanding, outstanding dental plan. And also, too, we do not coordinate benefits. We do not coordinate benefits. So no matter what we say we pay is what we pay. You might have another carrier try to coordinate with us, but we will never coordinate with them. Whatever we pay, we pay. That's a big deal, especially like if you have an MA plan that has $1,000 worth of dental. Okay. Well, if that's the case, you know, you can always save that. But on our dental plan, the only thing that I'm going to say to you that you might think is a negative, so that's why I bring it up. We have a 12-month waiting period on major services, and we will never, ever waive that 12 months. Never. We can't. Whether you had credible group coverage, individual coverage, doesn't matter. We will never waive the 12 months. Why? Because we have no caps and no deductibles, and we pay 70%, not 50%. Can you imagine being on group insurance and saying, hey, I can't wait to get to that Physicians Mutual dental plan. And as soon as I retire, and I'm going to go on that, and I got 5 crowns that I need to have done right away, and I'm going to do that. And then next thing you know, we're paying out $10,000, and you only gave us $56. Okay. We have 4 different plans. We have a Premier plan. I know I'm drawing over this. Premier. We have a preferred. We have a standard, and we have an economy plan. Okay. The Premier plan is $56. The preferred plan is $46. Then we have the 38, and we have a 30. Also, Emeritus has a great network in Mexico. So if you go to Mexico, that is great with us because they have a great network there. So we give you 4 different choices on policies to buy. Like this Premier plan, I said it covers about 70. It does cover 70%. This next one, that a preferred plan, might cover about 50%. This one covers about 35. This one covers about 25, where the 70% is right here. This is the one that's sold 80% of the time. Okay. So those are all, that's the great dental plan we have. And then last but not least, it has a rider to it. Okay. For $8.95 a month, $8.95, it has a vision and hearing rider to it. Okay. Vision and hearing. And what you get for that is this: for $8.95 a month, which is $108 a year, if I round up to $9 times 12, $108 a year, you get $100, up to $100 for an eye exam. Okay. You get $150 for glasses or contacts or anything like that. But that's after a 3-month waiting period. Okay. 3-month waiting period. Just tell your customer when you do their Part D, go get your eyes checked after 90 days of buying this and get your glasses. We'll give you up to $150. And then we give you another $75, up to $75 for a hearing exam. Okay. That's a hearing exam. And you will see there is no waiting period on the eye exam or the hearing exam, but there is a 3-month wait on the glasses. And then we will give you $1,000 towards hearing aids. Okay. $1,000 towards hearing aids after 1 year. We'll give you up to $1,000. And at Costco, you know, I'm in Scottsdale, Arizona in the winter. I just had a customer call me and said, Mike, thank you so much for your guys' $1,000 check. I said, what was that for? He says, well, I went to Costco and I got hearing aids and they were $1,400 over-the-counter hearing aids for $1,400 at Costco. And we sent him a check for $1,000. The rider here, this rider here is a reimbursement rider. There is no network. So your customer can go to any eye doctor they want to. They can go to any hearing doctor. They can go to anybody for hearing aids that they want to. No questions asked, no nothing. And then I know there's going to be a question on here, and I'm going to put it right up here. Somebody's going to ask me about implants, right? We do $1,000 lifetime max on implants. And I tell people right up front, there are carriers out there that do $2,000. We do have an implant rider that you can maybe buy down the road if you get an implant rider offer in the mail that gives you another $1,000 of implant coverage for about $4 to $5 a month. So always be on the lookout. Tell your customer to be on the lookout for that in case they get that. And then they have $2,000 of coverage, just like a lot of other carriers. Okay. But the $1,000 I will tell all of you is this: the $1,000, that lifetime maximum of $1,000 is to cover the titanium post that is screwed into the jawbone. There's probably 10 other implant covered services that are covered at 70% if you buy this plan. Okay. But the titanium post, there's only $1,000 max. Those titanium posts will run you anywhere from $1,500 all the way up to $5,000 per post. So if you think your customer is going to find a dental plan that's going to cover all their implants, they're crazy. It isn't out there. The max out there is $2,000. But you got to remember, it's just for the titanium post. You have the prep of the jawbone. You have to give the shot to numb it. You have x-rays. You got then the abutment that goes on top of the post. You got the crown. You got all kinds of other services that will be paid at 70%, but not just the titanium post. So everybody's like that. All the carriers are the same, either 1,000 or 2,000. That's the norm. If you needed a whole mouthful of implants, I have friends that are dentists, and they said, Mike, that's going to run you $40,000 just for the post and then get everything done. So you think about it, it's very expensive, but everybody always wants to know about implant because that's the big thing. Everybody wants implants now. All the dentists want to do implants. You don't think they're making money? Because the people, most dental plans only have 1,000 or 2,000 lifetime max on the post itself. And when they're anywhere from 1,500 to 5,000 per post, you can see that the dental plans out there that are for sale aren't paying a whole lot of that if you really think about it. So make sure you educate your customer on that type of thing. Would anybody have any questions today for me? I don't want to go over my time here.
I'm not seeing anything in the chat so far. Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, Rita. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Yep. $1,000 just covers that post. That's all. That's how that works. So, okay. Nothing else. Anything else I don't know about all the other questions in the chat, Robin. Everything all good?
Yeah, everything's all good. I'm just gonna, I gave both of our emails out. I can send the Medicare allowed amounts flyer, and I can send them a PDF slide deck of Innovative that I have. I have one that I can send out that can help them go over some of the things that you talked about. So
yeah, if anybody needs anything, my number is 402-669-1924. That's my cell. Call me, text me. I'll be more than glad to help you any way I can. If you need to email me, and I have good other slides that you will maybe help understand of what I covered, I can send them to you. It's not a problem. I can send them to anybody, and just email me at mike.story. I think Robin said she put it out there. Mike.story, just like the book, STORY, at physiciansmutual.com. Mike.story at physiciansmutual.com. And I will help you any way I can and get you what you need. So thank you. I sorry about my presentation skills today. I just don't see a lot of that stuff up on the screen. And I always know trying to do this for the first time gets a little hectic sometimes. But I want to thank you all so much for inviting us to present today.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you, Robin. We appreciate you giving us all this great information, and thank you, everybody, for joining us today. And I hope everyone has a great weekend and a happy holiday.
thank you, everyone.